I lived broke for a long time to get to where I am today.
I have the pleasure of welcoming Luke Vernon.
I'm a content creator from Birmingham, /presenter, /actor, /motivational speaker. I was not built for school. I remember looking into a mirror and I was like, this is not you. I used to pick up work for £10 an hour and that's all I was doing. And then away from that, I was banging out content. This is where people don't realize why my following grew so quickly, because it was a list of research of what it is that works on TikTok, what doesn't work, hashtags that work.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I fucking love this.
Sacrifice is the biggest thing. You need to know that when you're doing this work or when you're doing anything, there's no set time in how this game works. Who knew Morgan Freeman before Morgan Freeman? Please tell me. 2015 is the first time I joined social media. I've done it for 2 years. Went mad depressed, started losing my hair and stuff. I just couldn't fake it no more. And that was just because of all the things that were going on in my life. After losing my mum, I just went like, couldn't care for anything. I started to create this content because I felt like it was something that was in me that just needed to release. It's kind of been my therapy through my life. It was my 4th video that went viral. I literally grew 300,000 followers in 3 weeks. A month later, I got my first brand deal, £150. And then my best friend was like, next time you get a brand deal, ask for 500, ask for 500. The next one, they were like, yeah, great. Then I was like, 1,000. Yeah, that's great. And I was like, what's going on? I hate admin, hate it. There's a lot of time wasting. And it wasn't until I joined Connect that everything just completely changed.
What could I earn, mate? Tell me.
Some brand deals are the average person's wage for the whole month. The majority of them, 2 to 3 months. In one day, me and Benji signed a year's worth of payment. You can go from nothing to something.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's podcast is kindly sponsored by Casita Properties, the UK leading property company when it comes to off-market, discreet buy-to-let sales. All the links will be in the description below. I have the pleasure of welcoming Luke Vernon. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. Do we do handshakes on podcasts?
I've never done one, but let's do it. There we go.
There's the first handshake.
I've wanted to do that.
I like to break virginities, mate.
I've always felt that maybe I
never took anyone's virginity, and now it's like that's like my goal in life.
It's taken, and I do feel used. I feel like we're going to run a part 3 with Benji straight after, and then that's the second time I'll be used. Mate, I love that. I've always wondered about doing it.
You can do a fist bump if you want.
Yeah, and I've wondered about doing it after. But
I'll give you something to end the podcast. Don't worry.
We've done it.
I'll give you something.
Christ.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Luke, everyone. Dude,
welcome to my pod.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Let's for anyone that doesn't know, you're on TikTok, you're a big content creator, working with Benji, who we've just had on for a part 2. But let's hear the 30-second overview from you, mate. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Luke Vernon. I'm a content creator from Birmingham, /presenter, /actor, /motivational speaker. And a businessman. Yeah, I'll throw that in there as well. So yeah, that's my I need to find a way how to introduce myself in like short form, but genuinely that's what I do. I do still act, I do present, I do motivational speak. So I am a social media content creator. So
you are a creator. I think that's, that we always use the word entrepreneur, don't we? And actually Jeremy's on a lot of my lives, and a lot of people always say to me, what is it you do? You can put all the titles in there, but people are like, what is it you actually do? And I say to Jeremy on my live, Jezza, do you just want to tell him? And it's food and talking. It's like, it's 2 things. But we do a lot more. I think it's good to say what we do, but I think entrepreneur or being just a general creator, someone who's...
I think I definitely fall under the entertainer bracket. Like anything within entertainment, I'm there basically.
Yeah,
so.
But also a businessman, because that's what this is. Because if there's money at the end of it, there's some form of a business going on. So how did you get into this, mate? By the way, we're not going to give too much away because anyone who's watching this, it'll be built up into a nice promo. Luke is going to be one of our headline speakers at our next event, 2nd of February, Peak Performance Events. So what we're going to do is we're going to give some information.
Yes, not too much.
We're going to leave some cliffhangers. So how did this start from a young age?
From a young age, my mum and my year 6 teacher told me that when I'm older, I will be a professional actor. And I turned around to him and was like, no, I'm going to be a footballer. And I can now act as a footballer.
You've done some kick-ups.
But yeah, I was always like this, like I was not built for school. I was just not built for school. I was always somebody that needed to be practical, needed to be up, needed to be out. And they saw that from a really, really young age. And I guess that's where it started, just being boisterous and being energetic, and then obviously with how times change, social media come into the play. I am like a trained actor. I've been to drama school for 3 years, trained there, 2 years in college training as well, and then obviously I was in the industry for 5 years before I even touched social media. So like I've got 10 years graft that people don't know about before I even picked up TikTok, you know what I mean? So
mate, let's say this again, we just had Sam on. This is being said a lot, this time frame, like between getting into any kind of business, entrepreneurship, content creators, being an influencer, this time frame seems to be very sort of similar around this 5 to 10 year period. And that just goes to show, there's Ice Cube said it on a clip recently that I watched on Instagram. He was like, look, if you want to get into business or any kind of more than what you're doing right now, don't expect to earn any decent money for the next 5 fucking years. And if you're not on board with it, don't bother starting. I can tell you that now. And I was like, mate, I feel that. Like that is honestly, that is legit.
I think people don't realize, like everybody wants the quick fix.
Yeah.
And I get that sometimes you can get that quick fix. Like there's so many creators out there that did blow up immediately, but there's the hundreds of millions of thousands that the rest of us that are trying, it didn't take one video or it didn't take somebody who was in the industry to help push that person. It literally took years and years and years of graft that you don't realize that you're doing. And then you actually get to the place and you use all your experiences to get you are where you are today. So
it's crazy, isn't it? It's like bodybuilding. People go, you watch this.
Yeah,
next year I'm going to be ripped and jacked. And you're like,
exactly.
Who have you been watching? Jay Cutler, Arnold. Like you do realise they were doing that from about 16 until when they finally made it at about 31 years old.
I think people need to realise that when you have a plan, especially when you're doing something like as an entrepreneur, if you have a plan, you need to know that you need to have that 10-year plan, that 20-year plan. Like it could happen next year. Like I'm at a stage now where to my normal job that I used to work in, I could quit for years now.
Yeah.
But I've still got another 10-year plan ahead of me. So like I've already done 10 years. Yeah. I'm now on for the next 10 years and I'm nowhere near finished. So
do you know what? We're going to carry on with this podcast, but Paul, I'm so fucking excited about this event. I am so pumped right now because we're in it, aren't we? Like we're really feeling all of this, and this is what I kind of want to throw out. Like I can't pump this content out enough because it's there for the taking, but Benji just said it a minute ago. I've said it. Other people have said it. You've got to have that vision 5-10 years down the line. Yep. And if it's a case of this is what I want next week, don't fucking bother.
Yep.
Don't bother. Look at what you could have in 10 years. Catch up time. I want to throw this at you. A lot of people don't like this front end work. There are times where even Paul and I, Benji, yourself, millions of people who are in business, you go through this period, even Sam said it before, he's like, I've gone through a dry patch of no money. It's called front end work. But as long as you stick with the front end work, you believe in yourself, no plan B, the catch up time for when the money does come in will then make up for this yearly salary of doing 50 weeks for 25, 30 grand. You can have that in a short period of time as long as you really commit yourself to this front end work. And that's the testing part, isn't it? Like what you're willing to put in up front without being paid.
Yeah. So this, I'll tell you a story now. This is how I decided, when I decided that this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
I love this, by
right. So if I feel like there's people on this earth that are going to look in a mirror and they're going to say to themselves whether or not they're happy where they are in life.
Yeah.
So I remember looking into a mirror and I was like, this is not you. This is not you. And some people are just content and happy to do their normal work. And I'll tell you the beauty about a normal job, because I don't get this. The beauty about a normal job is that when you leave that shift, your brain shuts off.
Yeah.
I wake up speaking scripts. I wake up talking about what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember stood up performing, woke up and I was like, go to fucking bed. Like, what is my brain doing? So I know that, but I knew this is the life that I wanted to live. So what I ended up doing is when I really, really decided this is what I was going to take, it was not long after I lost my mum. So after I lost my mum, I was like, I can't just do something normal. Like I have to just go and live what it is that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I ended up getting a house. So worked hard enough to get a house, put the mortgage on it, blah blah blah. I then moved out of that house, moved into a really small flat. Took the rent money from the house to pay for the flat and the bills, because it was just a one bedroom flat where the house was a 3-bed flat with like a converted garage and garden and whatnot. And then I had to decide to myself, what is the minimum amount of money I have to earn in order to live? And all I had to do was get food. So I was like, cool, all I need to make is, let's say, £400 a month.
Yeah.
So I used to pick up work, like the odd shift. So let's say I just done 10 hours a week of work for £10 an hour. And that's all I was doing. And then away from that, I was banging out content, pushing out things, networking with people, Instagramming, jumping on all the social medias, messaging. And this is where people don't realize why my following grew so quickly, because if you look on the notes on my phone, it was list of research of what it is that works on TikTok, what doesn't work, hashtags that work. And it was like, that was my full-time job, even though I was sometimes going to do different work just to get money to eat, because I already put things in place. Obviously, I was fortunate enough to have that in place, but if you've got a plan now and you've got a normal job and you can, like, it's not hard to do what I've done. I got a house, I moved out, I got the rent, and I lived broke for a long time to get to where I am today. So like that was the full plan.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I fucking love this.
Sacrifice is the biggest thing. You need to know that when you're doing this work or when you're doing anything, sacrifice and consistency are the two main parts that you're going to live through.
I can't fucking wait for this event. I'm super pumped. I want to push that. This is all I talk about. I say that, when I want to do my lives, I'm saying to people, what's the minimum you need to live on?
Yeah,
for you and your family, whatever your situation is, what's the minimum you need to live on?
And not minimum shopping at M&S.
No.
Audi.
Sacrifice.
I still shop at Audi Lidl to this day.
So do I.
Are you mad? To this day.
There's no.
And I will continue. And the only thing that vexes me about Audi and Lidl, the fact that they do not deliver yet. The day that they deliver is the day you will never see me in that shop again.
That's crazy.
Because that is an hour time wasted. If I'm going to waste my time, I want to waste it wasting my time.
I think we all have the resources to start a third-party delivering company for Audi.
Do you know what I mean?
I think we all come away with this with an Audi.
Do not put this in the edit. Benji, we've got a new business plan. Like, we need to start delivering for Audi and Lidl. Like, no, but for real, like, so, like I was saying to loads of people, I was like, you're taking yourself shopping for 2 hours where you can get that stuff delivered and then concentrate on creating content. Same with getting a cleaner in. So if you need to clean the house, if you get a cleaner in, that's going to cost you, let's say, £20 for like the hour or the 2 hours. Who do you think you've got a business proposition that you can make £30 in them 20 to 30, them 2 to 3 hours, and then you at least still made £10 profit? There's ways of making money in the time that we actually waste in this world. But like I said, if I'm going to waste my time, I'm going to waste it doing something that I actually want to do. That's my thing. Like, I don't like to do things that I don't want to do. Like, I will procrastinate and play games, for instance. Yeah. But I'm happy to do that as long as I've done enough work.
Your priorities first.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. I feel like I can imagine this event. I'm just seeing, because I can't wait for people to hear this in a room where no one can escape. I feel like, Paul, do you feel like people are going to be up, like, holding one hand? I really feel like... I feel like if there is one event where we can get people to stand up on their chairs and put their hand up and be like taking over and, oh, I feel like this is the event.
One of those viral videos, when they play drum and bass in the
Jeremy, how excited are you for this event now? It's buzzing, right? I want to go over that. Sacrifice. This is what I keep saying to people. Work out what you need to live on and buy your time back so that you can double down, triple down on this venture or business that will triple, double, quadruple and play a huge catch up on what you're earning now. Don't settle for something that could be so much more if you are willing to go, look, love, you, me, the kids for the next 2 years, let's just be more humble. Let's reduce and let me go at it. Let me go at it.
And you see what's going to do for them kids as well? It's only going to make them hungry. Like, I'll be honest, I've got a son now and I kind of feel sorry for my son. Because I'm going to spoil him. Like, he's not going to go without. But is he going to grow up with that hunger? Because I grew up with the hunger of... Yeah. Because my mum was a cleaner. So, and as much as I never went without, my mum used to work her arse off to give me whatever it is that I wanted. But until I realised what money actually was, I told her to stop. Because I was like, Mum, you're not making that much money and you're still buying me brand new PlayStations and Xboxes and getting all these tracksuits and stuff. I was like, Mum, stop. And then that's when I realized that I have to go out there and start getting my work done and I have to start grinding and I have to. But my mum was always somebody that installed in me, Luke, you do what you want for a living. And I'm fortunate enough to have that parent, because there's a lot of parents out there that are forcing their kids into work that they don't want to do, education that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like I did go down the educational route, but it was within the field that I'm now still doing. So I went down like the acting route.
Yeah.
And then obviously I went to drama school, which is basically like a 3-year degree as well.
Do you know why the British military is one of the best in the world?
Go on.
Because we've got volunteers. If you have a head-to-head with a bayonet, I guarantee the person who has volunteered wanted to be in that fight, opposed to the person who was forced into that fight.
Yeah.
There's only one winner coming out of that. And that's very much the same mentality. You know, I love the fact that you said going back, reflecting on what you were like as a child, creative, bubbling, couldn't settle down. That was like me. I'm sitting here for the first time, and I'm sort of like, I'm almost ready to like jump up because
put some house music.
Yeah, because I feel it. Like it's kind of that passion that I had and that drive and the message that you're talking about there. I'm so passionate and I feel so strongly about it because I suffer with the lack of my ability to listen to excuses, because I also came from a very similar background and we didn't have a lot. And it really bugs me when people do turn around and say, well, it's all right for you. Well, it seems like you had a better lifestyle than I had. We're all playing the same game, just got different hands. And I like that take, is that everyone has a different circumstance, but it doesn't mean the opportunity's any less. Might mean that you have to put 2 hours. You might have to do 6 hours more than me a week. I might have to do 12 hours more than you a week.
The amount of times I explain this to people, like, there's no set time in how this game works.
No.
Who knew Morgan Freeman before Morgan Freeman? Please tell me. He's always been old. He could have been acting. This man probably was acting from the age of 16.
Yeah.
We didn't know this man until the age of 60.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so like, there's no time frame on this, but I guarantee that, like, if people just realize that you've just got to keep going, no matter, like, it may take, I'm dyslexic here. So but I'm a presenter. So I'll be reading teleprompters.
Yeah.
And I'll be skipping lines. But because I'm so used to freestyling anyway and just going over things and making up my own scripts, people don't even realize that I'm messing up.
Yeah.
But because I've just concentrated on the things that I'm actually good at. Now, so when I was in drama school, they used to give us scripts and you used to have to do a lot of sight reading. So you go for an audition. Sometimes you'll go to an audition and they'll give you a whole page and they'll be like, can you act this out right now? I'm like, trying my best, but obviously I'm not the greatest at that. So then it just means all I have to do is work harder at that. And I can't use it as an excuse. Like, so-and-so can just look down once, read the whole page and memorize the whole thing. I don't have that ability.
Yeah.
So I just have to deal with it and just work harder at it.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. If you want that life, you just have to work harder at it than somebody else. If you've got one arm and you want to be a bodybuilder, you're going to have to work harder than the person that's got 2 arms. It's just as simple as that.
But everyone can do it. There's no discrimination. You can learn this, like sales, marketing, content. Like, you don't have to be blessed with being someone who's just got it. You can learn this stuff. And I saw something recently, I think it's Tom Skinner, who he didn't win The Apprentice, but he's quite a bit of an East Ender. Do you know the guy I'm on about, blonde hair? I love it. He was talking about when they were like, you're gonna have to sell something to the public, or you're gonna have to sell us something that we give you. He was like, I knew I had this nailed. And anyway, loads of people were failing, and the woman said in The Apprentice, said, right, sell me this boot then. And he only had a certain amount of time, and he went, what, this boot? How much then would you pay for this boot? And she went, well, about £1. Sold. and he was like, he just had it in him. And it's like that quality of having the confidence and there's, you know, the sales and the marketing and the ability to do that. It just puts you levels above. But if you haven't got that in you, you can learn it.
Yeah.
And like your confidence and what you're doing as the creator is popping. So what would you say then, bringing it back a notch to people who are like, oh my God, you know, I'm hyped about this, I want to get involved, how do I do it? What would you say from starting with 0 following to growing now to over 2 million and verified on both platforms? What has been some key lessons that you've learned along the way where you've kind of nailed it and you're like, right, now it's just about improving. I've nailed it, but I know like, tweaks and stuff like this. What have you learned?
First thing I learned was, I knew this from even a young age, you cannot care about the opinion of others.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge. Like, okay, there's only probably like a handful of people that can actually affect me, but that's just because it's me. And that's just because I love them. If you turn around to me now, no disrespect, but I do not love you. Like, but if you turn around to me now and you said something that could harm me, why am I going to listen to that? I don't know you from Adam. I don't know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know you, like, my best friend, if he said it, that's going to affect me. But then I'm still going to have to learn the fact that I'm on a path going somewhere and I cannot care about the opinion of others. When it comes to the creating side of things, the most important thing is consistency. You have to stay consistent, whether that's 1 video a day, 2 videos a day. Once you build a following, they're gonna then be on your schedule.
Expecting.
Yeah, so I've always posted 1 a day on TikTok, or the majority of the time I post 1 a day. Sometimes I'll post 2. I've tested out 3. If I do an advert, I always make sure I put a normal piece of content up as well. And but that's what they're used to. So if I was on a different platform and I was putting out weekly, so if I was putting out a video Sunday 7 p.m. every week, make sure that you're putting out that video Sunday 7 p.m. every single week. And if there's some sort of delay because you're away abroad or there's something wrong with your internet, make sure that there's a reason of why you were late and stuff like that. But you're just being consistent. So not caring about others, being consistent, and actually just having fun.
Yeah.
For me, that's my main thing. I started to create this content because I felt like it was something that was in me that just needed to release. And if anything, me creating content has kind of been my therapy through my life.
Oh, mate, I love this. This is, honestly, I've said this a few times. It really is one of my... I almost feel this podcast. Like I sit here sometimes thinking about, right, okay, where can we direct it? I'm just sort of like, Luke, just run it. Because I'm in agreement. And I just want to really strongly push what you're saying. Again, consistency.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing is not to... Yes, views, likes, comments, they all help. They all matter. But now, like for now, I'm in a position where obviously I've built a business off it and stuff. I just continue to post. Some videos do great, some videos don't do great. I can't let them affect me.
Yeah.
The way I see it, as long as my work is still coming in and I'm actually still doing other things and I'm still traveling. Like this weekend, imagine this is my life now. This weekend, I'm being flown out to Austria to ski and create content, and everything's paid for and they're paying me. I do not ski for a living. I'm not a skier. I went to practice like last week. I went to learn how to ski in a day last week. I also messaged them and was like, can you teach me how to ski? Yes, come down for free. So like, this is the life that I'm living now.
Okay.
And
Luke, I'm gonna have to pause you. Benji, I need in on this. What the fuck do I need to do right now? This is insane.
So imagine, and I don't even mean this in like a disrespectful way, but imagine there's people that have you ever been skiing before?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to work it out.
Have you ever? No, I mean, have you ever skied or snowboarded?
I've never
before?
skied. My old man always wanted to take me, but unfortunately never did.
Okay, there's people out there. Like I just went training the other day for the first time, and these kids and these adults and these people that are there probably go to this place weekly. But yet, this company are taking me out to pay me to ski.
Spaghetti legs.
Why? Yeah. Why? I'm going to look like Bambi on the mountain. But the kid over here that's been training for 14 years is not getting paid to go out there. Why? Because I've put myself in a place where people want the person that's popping right now or the person that's actually doing something right now. So if you are a skier or a snowboarder or you're a chef or whatever it is that you enjoy doing, just create content around it. You don't have to be very bubbly and very someone that's used to being on the camera. There's people out there. Oh my God, there's a content creator out there that only films his hand. He walks up to people in the street, fist bumps them, opens his hand, and it's a treat or a sweet or a chocolate.
Yeah.
Don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, know the one.
Don't even know what he looks like.
The creator of Bitcoin.
He's a content creator.
Yeah.
He could put an acrylic or a girl. Imagine if
it's like most of the pool.
Imagine, oh my God, I'm giving you an idea. If you own a nail salon, why don't you do that same piece of content, walk up to strangers, fist bump them, open your hands, look at these nails that were done from Vernon's salon in Birmingham. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's marketing, that's business. Like, that's just showing how you can actually start creating content. Watch all the people that go viral.
Okay, so I say, yeah, literally. But you got to tag Luke.
Benji, start doing my nails.
You got to tag Luke. I said this the other day. I'm looking at the camera, I hope my friend watches this. He watches some of my stuff. I said to it, we sat down, we had a coffee, and he's like, mate, my son's becoming really good at like converting the Nikes from plain white Nike Airs to like all the snazzy stuff, like doing designs. I said, mate, why is he not on TikTok? I said, buy a little rotator, buy a little drop box, little light, show him creating it, start, middle, end. And then they're worth their value. Like there's only one of those pair. And if he starts getting millions of views, those pair of trainers that were like 90 quid are now worth 500 if you want to sell them on Etsy. Because there's only one created that had 5 million views. Steve, get on it with your son.
Get on TikTok with your son. And that's what I mean. So imagine like, even if people are scared, there's people that are behind the camera as well. So if Steve didn't want to be on the camera, but his kid was okay to be, you can just record it. Do you know what I mean? And
or
you're just helping them.
You can be creative.
Like we all have to have it. For me, if you're going to go to the biggest creators out there are not doing it on their own. They have a team. There's a team behind all these cameras. It's not just us two on here. There's always a team. So there's always ways of still being a creator or being within the creative space where you don't have to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Like I like being in front of the camera. Like that's what I like doing, and that's what I love to do. So I'm going to continue to do that. At times I still do things behind, but the majority of the time it's in front. So
I'm gonna we're gonna build this up. Hope you don't mind.
Go.
Reveal as much and as less, or hold back whatever you want.
Cool.
For people to really get on board and find this juicy, because we all know what people are after. Where did you start figure wise, and what kind of numbers can you pull in on a higher client, on a higher brand deal? Because people are always wondering, Luke, you're telling me to get started, but I'm trying to imagine my life here with my wife, my mortgage. Like, what could I earn, mate? Tell me.
Right.
Like, don't have to give exacts, but what you're happy to.
I definitely like. My closest friends don't know how much I earn. Like,
So
the only person that probably knows what I earn is Benji.
Give us a range. Give us a range of throughout your journey.
What I will say is, some brand deals are like the average person's wage for the whole month. The majority of them 2 to 3 months, and in one day, me and Benji signed a year's worth of payments in one day. So if you think what's the average person somebody earns in a year, Google it if you want. We earn more than that in a day.
Yeah.
So like the numbers can be crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that that's always going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But like, this is where you've got to have a value for money. So I used to work in a factory for boots, picking people's items that they ordered online. Yeah. So they ordered their lipsticks, whatever, and I used to go around with my little trolley, pick it up. I used to work nights for £7.20 an hour. Yeah. I used to leave that week with £224 after tax. I used to give my mom £74 a week just to help out with the bills and stuff. Even though she didn't ask for it, I forced it in her hand. I then had £150. I then used to save £50 for myself. And then £100 I used to go out on the clubs on the weekend and spend it for myself or take myself shopping.
Yeah.
But because I now know a concept and a value for money, when I get paid these ridiculous amounts of money, I now look at it like, okay, what can I now invest this into? What can I push this into? Or how much time can I actually have a break now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
money smart.
So when we earned a year's wage in a day, I could have just sat there now and went, you know what?
I'll see you next year.
Taking the year off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because you, depending on how you want to live your life, like you said, the minimum that you have to live, like you can, the bigger you get, the bigger the house gets, the more expensive the bills get, the bigger the car gets, the more expense you're putting on. So even though you're earning more, you're spending more. Yeah. But if you just be clever with it and actually earn great and then just invest and still live like a decent life and how you want to live, like it's a no-brainer.
Real wealth whispers. You know, it doesn't need to shout and have a lot of clout behind it.
Yep.
This is the message that I've been trying to really sort of emphasize on and push out, is that that's totally possible. Like if you but hard work is behind it. It's not a case of this was just given to you and thanks so much.
Yeah, like
this is hard work.
Before I started this, I didn't have anybody in the industry. As I say, my mum was a cleaner that used to work a full-time cleaning job. She used to be here, there and everywhere around Birmingham, come home. One of my brothers now has gone into like football coaching and stuff like that, and he owns his own cleaning business. But like there's no, anyone in my family was not in the entertainment business. So it's not like I literally went from 0 to 2 million. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like It's about putting the things. It's to that for me. I am walking proof and living proof. Sorry, that you can go from nothing to something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And what was the timeline from you going to 0 to 2 million plus?
Well, if you want to be technical, from the age of 17 when I started acting.
Yeah.
I'm now 31, even though I always tell everyone I'm 25. It's been a long time, but when it comes to social media, TikTok I joined in 2019, so it was November 2019 I joined, and that was after I saw Gary Vee come to Birmingham.
Wow. And
all he was doing was pumping TikTok, and I was like, I've just jumped back on Snapchat and Instagram. Because I had like basically the first time I actually joined social media was 2017. No, 2015 is the first time I joined social media. I'd done it for 2 years, went mad depressed, started losing my hair and stuff. Just couldn't fake it no more. And that was just because of all the things that were going on in my life. After losing my mum, I just went like, I couldn't care for anything, you know what I mean? So I then took a 2-year gap, and then I decided I'd done that thing what I was talking about, looking in the mirror, and I was like, this is not you. Go and get what's yours. Jumped back on social media a month later, jumped on TikTok, after I saw Gary Vee, and it was my 4th video that went viral. So it was like a quick turnaround, but like, it's not like I was and then I got my first brand deal in December. So a month later, I got my first brand deal. I was buzzing as well. £150.
Yeah.
They sent me a full tracksuit, trainers, t-shirt, and all I had to do was kick ups with Christmas baubles. And I was like, yo, £150. And then my best friend, who runs his own vegan business, shout out to Jam and Vegan, he was like, Luke, you are on 300,000 followers. So I joined in November. By the time it was December, I literally grew 300,000 followers in 3 weeks. It was crazy. And he was like, look at the other people that are doing this campaign with them. So he looked into it. And he was like, do you think and there was there's a few influencers that had like 1 million or like 500K on Instagram. And he was like, do you think they paid him £150? And I was like, nah. It was like, next time you get a brand deal, ask for 500. Ask for 500. The next one, they were like, yeah, great. And I was like, wow, they're accepting the first deal. Then I was like, 1,000. Yeah, that's great. And I was like, well, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? So like, when it comes to creating and actually getting the money in, I was like, wow, this is going to turn into like a full-time job. And as I say, I was happy that my friends saw that and actually helped me push towards that and actually start asking for more.
Yeah. So you've done all that front end work, and then you realize, okay, I can start earning money. And that's when it makes you want to double down, doesn't it? And I suppose really for when you started growing then, at what point did you move on to management? Like what did you, was that you, were you reached out to, or how did the sort of joining management happen?
So I hate admin, hate it, absolutely hate. And the main reason why I hate it, is because there's a lot of time wasting. Yeah. So a brand will message you and be like, can you do this video for £2,000? I was like, wow, this sounds great. Yeah. You know, because they've offered that. Anytime a brand, for me, anytime a brand would offer the money, I'll just double it. Yeah. Because I thought, well, that's going to be your lowest offer. So let me just double it and see what happens. And then we'd be talking. And then by the time we come to like an agreement, they'd then turn around and be like, oh, what about if we just gift you this for like a whole year and don't pay you and stuff? And I was just like, this is actually wasting my time. Yeah. So then I went to an event. You heard of VidCon? Yeah. Yeah. So I went to VidCon just randomly. And this is the thing that you got to do as a creator as well. You just got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations sometimes. Yeah. And there's little steps that you can take as well. These are little tips that, like, take yourself for a meal on your own, go to the cinema on your own, just break that ice. Because if you can break that ice, you then realize that you can do things on your own and you don't need people around you to do these things. So now I literally booked that event. It was a 3-day event and I just went there on my own. Wow. Turned up, met creators, literally met people that I saw on the platform. That well, obviously I had like 500,000 by then, so I'm seeing people with like 3 million, 2 million, 1 million. I'm just walking up to them, shaking their hands, like I'm invested into them, you know what I mean? And every person I'm speaking to, I'm like noting down their following, and then I'm watching their content. Why is their thing working? What's happening, etc., etc., etc. And then I bumped into bumped into 2 managements there, and they've already seen what I was doing. So then they're like saying, yo, we want you. They're offering me what it is that they want. And then I went home and I was like, I'll have a think about it. And then there was more time wasting with the brand deals. And then I contacted one of them that I had a vibe with. They started looking for work for me and good to go. But then it wasn't Connect.
Right.
So it wasn't Connect, but that's where that started. And it wasn't until that I joined Connect that everything just completely changed.
Yeah.
That's when like the real work started coming in.
It's just like letting the professionals do their work. I mean, that's what you specialise. It'd be silly for us to try and take on a role that, let's face it, you're limited in your reach because it takes time to build a reach. And I think it's like fast growth, isn't it? It's like, let me do the content, let me do what I do best, and staying close to it. I just want to ask you quickly, staying close to your content, do you do all of your TikTok still? Do you edit? Do you do the publish? Do you hit that button for it to go live?
Obviously, I have a team now. So like, it's at the start, yes, it was all me. Everything was me. But then I got to a stage where, like management, you put things in place. I put things in place to earn less money to have more time.
Yeah.
That is my thing. That is definitely my thing. If I don't, I can edit good, I can write good, I can and I can film good. And obviously I'm the content creator. But now I've got each one of them to help me too.
Playing a role.
Yeah, so like when I get an advert, I'm like, cool, ring up my writer. Yo, can you write me a script for this? We write similar things. We create similar content, but because he enjoys writing more than me, cool, I'm happy enough to give him a percentage of my work and he write that script for me. I live with my cameraman now, which is very fortunate, who's also my editor. So he'll film, he'll edit, the other guy writes for me, and all I have to do is turn up, do my sketch, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm just like,
let me create. Yeah, leave me alone, you do the rest. Yeah.
And then that just gives me time to work on other things, to start creating my own stuff. So my personal content, I edit and film myself. At some point, I will be delegating that as well.
Yeah,
I feel like the more that you grow, that the more that you need to just concentrate on being you. So I just need to get to. I'm at a stage now where I can just turn up and be Luke Vernon.
Yeah,
where if I've now got to think about concepts and writing this script and editing this video, I'm just gonna go crazy. There's a reason why I continue to stay happy and bubbly. It's because I don't put myself in situations that actually stress me.
Yeah.
As bad as it sounds, Connect take so much stress off me. The fact that they're going through all these brand deals and messaging them and back and forths, and what they're talking about how much it's going to be. No, we don't want $8,000. We want 9. Blah blah blah. I ain't got time to be.
I think that's why comedians might go a little bit insane, because they still do a lot of their own writing and performing,
and a lot of them,
and they read them out, and so I think it's like.
But a lot of them do have writers as well. Yeah. So like they'll write. So a lot of comedians, if they're huge, for instance, they'll probably write the start, middle, and end, and then the writers are writing
like the bullet points,
the proper jokes. And then if you're good at what you do anyway, so my script writer, for instance, he writes me a script, but when I actually perform it, it's not the script. It's just the basis of the script. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna then pull it into my own words, and I'm gonna do it my own way.
Having that overview just to get you started.
Yeah. It's like copying my homework without copying my homework.
Yeah,
well, that's how it is.
I was so that. Can you? But I would be blatant. I'd go, can you move your hand? Why? I can't see what you're writing. I was just honest about it. Faye, I'm just wondering where I'm going to fit you in my house. I'm wondering if we can go full time. I'm just wondering where Faye's going to sleep, but we'll figure that out. What would be your, as we sort of come to a close, dude? Obviously, you're going to be one of our headlining speakers at our event. What would you leave this on a cliffhanger? Like, what would be your top tip to why people should be taking this as a business venture, but also a bit of a cliffhanger? Why should people come to this event to hear what else is going to be said?
I'll tell you what, because we haven't spoken about it. You guys everybody that's watched this has just seen me, how I am, talking about what it is that I do. But you have no idea that I've lost my brother to murder after he was chased by the police. My mum died in my arms from cancer. My granddad died in lockdown. My nephew come to live with me after his mum died in his house, and I then became a dad. All these bad things that happened to me, I've just said them, I've just threw them off like it's nothing. But the real reason I am the way that I am is because of all them integral things. So if to somebody's out there that are watching this and you've been through some madness and you feel like you can't get to the stage that you are, I'm here to tell you that you use your pain in order to grow and be better, be a better person that you are right now. So the reason why I'm so motivated and pushing for what it is that I want is because I've seen so many things happen. I could die tomorrow and be like, cool, I actually tried.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I tried. 4 years ago, if I would have died. I would have been fuming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would have been sat there like, no, you could have done so much more.
Yeah.
And even though, even now, I still feel like I can do so much more.
Yeah.
But at least I know that I put myself out there.
Yeah.
And that's my advice to everyone. Like, you have to put yourself out there. If you're not happy in what it is that you're doing, stop, think about your life. Start thinking about the people that are around you. You are the company you keep. If you've got people around you that can support you, you either bring them in on your business venture or you do it your goddamn self. Like, there's no excuses. You cannot have excuses in this game.
Mate, what an ending. I can't top it. We're going to end it on that. That was, I can't tell you how excited I am to get this rolling on the 2nd of Feb. It's going to be good. And mate, we're going to put something special with this promo. We're going to, let's end it. We started on a handshake.
Yeah, you know
we're going to end it on a handshake.
I'm going to show you what we're going to end it on. I'm going to show you what we're going to end it on. We're going to end it on a rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You ready?
Mate, I'm going to win.
You
I mean, it's embarrassing that you're going to lose, but you call it.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
There we go.
I actually lost.
I love it.
I did it on purpose. We spoke about this before the pod.
I play with a 9-year-old every day. I'm bound to win.
You've got to switch social medias.
I mean,
Whoa.
Rewind. Awesome, dude. Thanks so much. Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
We'll see you all very soon.
See you soon, man. Peace.